Allorim. But yeah, it's not going to be the exciting. This is a team play. Obviously, they're going for Ashe Arrow, Malphite Ultimate, Orianna Ultimate, a boom wombo combo. So I have liked that Immortals since they've had so much difficulty switching up all their rosters, swapping people back and forth, swapping teams back and forth, getting rid of coaches, getting rid of GMs. That
everything
focus in Champ Select, and they're like, all right, we're going to have a clear game plan with some easily layered crowd control to see hero, kill hero.
That wombo combo potential from the side of Immortals, if you get an Ashe Arrow or a Malphite into an Orianna ball, into a Graves ultimate, that is just going to delete whoever gets caught up into it. And I love seeing teams pick stuff like this that has easy engage, that has easy execution, especially if you're a team that's not doing so hot. If you're not one of the top teams in the league, don't pick something that's super hard to execute. Don't have all these ridiculous win conditions that rely on your constant ability to outplay opponents on both a micro and a macro scale. Pick something where you got to press R at the same time your buddy presses R, and you can win a team fight. Keep it
Sand
simple.
those edges down real smooth.
Oh, yeah. Keep it. It's going to be smooth. It's going to be clean. It's going to be great. This is the kind of composition that I want to see from a squad like Immortals, and I think that they drafted this well. They drafted it in a way that they should be able to win some fights, and we'll see if they can continue making Team Liquid regret getting rid of Xmithie.
Isn't it so funny? Like, even sometimes in these revenge stories or these like breakup stories, even if the one team is really struggling and they still manage to be super competitive and take a lot of wins off of the previous team, it does keep it super exciting. I have heard that Immortals currently are dealing with some communication issues as far as the software they're using for communication right now. So we're waiting on that until we can get into game. Promise, not delaying it on purpose. We'll get right to it as soon as we can. Also, you know, Captain Flower's face is so beautiful here. We can lift the chin a little bit longer. Can we get a profile?
So hold on. Let me try to turn to this side. Hold on. Does it work?
Yeah, there we go. That's a strong jaw.
That's the strong jawline of Champion Select. So yeah, I've had a lot of people message me during quarantine telling me like, Captain Flowers, fix your hair. And I'm going to be honest with every single one of you right here, right now, in just a moment of
that is
truth
fixed
and forthcomingness here on this stream. I have no idea how to do anything with my hair once it gets this long. There's a reason that we have wardrobe and hair and makeup specialists behind the scenes at LCS. Shout out to Cass. We love you, Cass. I have no idea how to do any of this without your help. But I found that the best way to do it is to get a shower right beforehand and then just take the towel on my head and dry my hair really fast and really furious.
What is that emote
like that.
Where the guy is like doing that, shuffling his hair? Because that's what it kind of looks
like. Not like this.
That's your strat. Yeah, it's the
you not like this your hair.
That's your prep for the hair and makeup for LCS. Classic Flowers. Me too, though. I don't know what I'm doing with this. I got a long dangly thing in front with the hair. But
you got the swoosh. The swoosh.
Yeah, I get the swoosh. See what kind of early vision we can get here. Just the pixel brush ward. Maybe we go back and get a sweeper then. Anytime I see that, I really want to get off my recall, swap over to sweeper and see if I can get the early experience for my laner. It actually, especially at the pro level, does mean a decent amount. If you go back as a jungler, you know, you drop your trinket ward, you have time to go recall, you buy the sweeper, it will have your sweeper cooldown up so you can go kill that ward for your mid laner slash and your top laner. If they both get experience, they get level 2 on the first wave. It can set them up for better trades, can set them up for helping you out with your first goal of the first scuttle. And then you say, hey man, I gave you some half of a ward experience. Come on over to this scuttle, buddy.
I gave you some half of a ward experience.
You need to pay it back.
Big bucks,
pay it back.
All right. We're waiting to see
totally
kind
fair.
of how everybody gets into the action here in this game. And while we're at the point where there's no action to really be had, let's go ahead and look at summoner spells. Let's look at some runes, see if we got anything interesting. It's Grasp versus Grasp here in the top lane. Teleports across all 4 solo laners this time around. Once again, one single summoner spellbook that will be on the Orianna of Insanity. Bottom side, no TPs this time around. Tactical going for the heal, and Apollo going for the cleanse. Wants to make sure that if he gets hit by one of these hooks, he does have the ability to get out of that one. But it does mean that if Broxah comes down there into that lane and they're able to land some CC on the Hakuho, the defensive capability of the heal won't be there.
And
oh, also extra summoner spellbook on CoreJJ. I didn't pay attention to that. I said there was only one. I just lied to you. Joke's on you. I hope you were paying attention. It was a test. There's two summoner spellbooks in the game. One of them is on CoreJJ.
I'll let it go. You got it in on time.
Yeah,
just
we're there.
time.
We're there.
You hit the timeline just as the due date ticked over. Your homework is counted.
Just like in college.
Fair enough.
Do tomorrow. Do tomorrow.
I will count that for you. Full credit awarded. And honestly, though, talking about the cleanse, I do like it with Ashe because for me, I have a lot of stand and fight mentality when playing Ashe, and that is you just cleanse it out and you activate your Ranger's focus with your lethal tempo, and you just actually try and fight your way out. I play a lot of carries like that though, where I just try and fight my way out instead of.
I respect that. That's the Chad play.
You know, if it works out, it works out, and you look like such a boss. If not, then people start spamming you. Why aren't you kiting?
I call that the YouTuber over streamer approach, where you make you always take the plays that either make you look like a god or like you're completely boosted, and then the boosted plays, you just don't put those in the video. Yeah. See, if you're a streamer, they see all the plays. But if you're YouTubing, you can just put the good ones in there. So you take all the garbage out and just throw that in the dumpster and hope nobody looks at it.
Yeah.
But
and there's a reason that I do it on Ashe, because she's so good at kiting that if you cleanse it off, then you just get to reapply your slows over and over. Xmithie, by the way, is coming down to the Ashe lane, looking for some early pressure.
Fires off a smoke screen, but won't find much else. First plate went down rather quickly, though, so at least they're grabbing some money from that one. Even if there's not an opportunity to dive, they're getting something out of it. As Jensen and Insanity are pretty evenly matched here in the mid lane. Impact, you can see he's just not afraid of Allorim at all on this Malphite. Malphite often excels into champions that do physical damage, and Ornn doesn't do that.
Ornn has percentage health damage, you know? That's
percentage health magic damage.
Yeah,
so
Malphite just feels bad. And it's like, what?
Malphite feels bad playing against Ornn. You just got to sit there and watch. Also, this is a real life, like if we're taking the lore into consideration here, which I know isn't the most important all the time, but there's nothing else to talk about right now. Malphite is a rock, and Ornn has a hammer.
All right, Malphite is a mountain, okay? People call him a rock.
A mountain is just a rock that had a long time to grow up. This is a hammer.
It's a rock that got pushed up by seismic tectonic plate movement.
All right, Mr. Mitochondria is a powerhouse of the cell. You paid attention in science class. We get it. But you know what? That's still a hammer. That's still a rock. It's a natural count.
I accept again the arguments. Full credit for Captain Flowers.
I'm impressed with the professor today.
You're sitting at an A+ right now, my friend.
Oh, I am getting some good marks here in this class.
This is a good day for you.
I'm at the top of the class, man. Feels good. Feels good. Brox is farming up, though, on this Lee Sin. He's level 4. He hasn't been involved in a whole lot here just yet. I do want to see him get some early plays off in this game. I'd like to see at least something on the board.
You don't want to see this? You don't want to see this more?
I mean, as fun as it is to watch Impact make a rock and then ram his head into it and then bonk Allorim, it's not the most extreme League of Legends game. Maybe if we, you know what I wish we had? I wish we had one of those, like, maybe I wish we had a solo kill come through. No, never mind. Or
he leveled up right before it happened. Impact would have done that if...
He's still looking for it. Okay.
Oh, he's trying to create the situation of putting Allorim as a rock in between another rock in a hard place.
Wait, and hold on, I haven't played Pokemon
it's a rock
since Pokemon Ruby. Rock is bad against rock though, right? They're ineffective against each other.
Oh, like so a lot of rock Pokemon were also like rock ground.
Whoa, but ground is super effective against rock, but rock is ineffective against rock.
Yeah, so you want to use your ground moves against them, because being part ground, you can learn those moves. Yeah.
Okay, but if you just use the rock moves against a rock, it's really bad.
Yeah, it's just rocks on rocks. What does that
But
do?
technically, Impact's rock comes out of the ground, so it's probably a ground type ability, which is why he's winning this match.
And since he's a god, he's a forge god, it's got to be some special kind of like god material rock, no?
Something like that, I think. Yeah, because he's his beard is imbued with thunder or something. I don't know. I never actually read the lore for Ornn because he's not Skarner. But I assume he's some sort of magical goat forge master thing, and he makes things on the mountain. I'm imagining him as like if Skyrim was full of goats. That's where he would be.
Okay, keep going.
Broxah got away. He wasn't under threat there. He still had flash.
Yeah.
He still had flash. There's
Flash
no way
being blown is
he was gonna
one
get
of the big differences that we have had in this game, though.
That's true. That's true. And it does mean he won't have the flash available to make a big kick play here as he is approaching level 6 pretty soon. First Drake of the game did go over to the side of Team Liquid, so at least they have that one in their pocket. That was Infernal. Next one is going to be Mountain. It means we will get a Cloud Soul or an Ocean Soul, which means we will get either the most uneventful Rift in the game. You know, the Cloud one, it just adds a couple little circles and stuff. It's like getting air conditioning on the Rift.
So I always feel cool when the Rift is Cloud. Now, I don't really care as much about the Cloud Soul itself, but having those speed boosts just around the jungle just makes me feel a little bit cooler. Anytime you move that much quicker, you just feel like you've got better APM. You know, you're just a little bit of a tier higher of a player. No?
I mean, I play only Skarner, and you already have speed boosts on everything as Skarner. The Cloud things are exactly on the same point as the Skarner Spires. So they don't feel cool at all if you're playing Skarner. They just kind of feel like, all right, this is the same thing I already have, but it's like +2. So I much prefer my
So you're saying you feel cool all the time as a Skarner
Yes,
player.
as Skarner, you always get to run fast in the jungle. Specifically, if you bait people to fight you there, you can just run around in circles around them, and they don't know what's going on, because all of a sudden, you're just super fast. Brox is going to grab himself that topside Scuttle Crab. Xmithie might be looking towards the mid lane here. We could get some 2v2 action here, Kobe. It's been 9 minutes into the first part of this game, and we have no blood on the ground.
Well, you know why, right? The whole reason we're not, spending time talking about the strategy of tank v tank top, of control mid versus control mid, the classic matchup Orianna Azir that's been played for 7 years straight in pro play, and the similarities. The big difference, of course, and we've seen it manifest in some turret plate action. One turret plate taken by the Ashe Karma lane, which has such good pushing and harassment. But other than that, that's the reason why we're exchanging stories.
Yeah, we're just facilitating a conversation until we get to the point where the teams and players decide that it's time to PvP. It is a 400 gold lead for the side of Team Liquid. So early on, farming is going in their favor. Things are going all right for them. The Lee Sin actually outpacing the Graves in terms of farm, which is not something that you would expect to see. You would much more likely plan on seeing Lee Sin want to get involved in lanes more, spend more time trying to set up for some ganks. Whether or not he succeeds in them, that's up to the Lee Sin. But Graves not farming as well as Lee Sin is not exactly par for the course here. We'll see if Xmithie can pick that up as we move forward. CoreJJ going to pick up a death sentence there onto Hakuho. Jensen looking for the damage, trying to follow it up just a little bit further. Does not want to go all the way in. Did have flash available to try to use that Emperor's Divide, but decided that wouldn't be worth it. Not for the enemy support, and not considering they did not have vision of plenty of Immortals members. He didn't want to jump in there and then have Xmithie just waiting for him to blow him up. So Team Liquid not finding their kill there, but they will get the flash out of the Immortals support, and Broxah will head into that Rift Herald pit.
This is going to be it. There's a word on here for Immortals trying to set up. They do have ultimates available. Again, we want to see the combo. Can Orianna get the ball in the right place? Malphite's not here quite yet. Allorim heading down the river. Arrowhead!
Ooh, that was a damn good arrow. The Herald's going to be stolen. Broxah's first blooded again. What is it, Kobe, with the Immortals versus Broxah, where the man is first blooded? Good Lord. That shot was beautiful from Apollo.
Oh my goodness. Actually, the most difficult of all the ults that we mentioned to hit. From downtown, Apollo back in the LCS, shoots it at Rift Herald. That's the intelligent part. You shoot it at the objective. Now Apollo under fire though.
Tactical trying to find some damage onto the enemy AD carry. Impact's made his way into the fight. Tactical down to 300. Xmithie looking to get himself away, but here comes the Ornn. There goes the kill. Impact taking the credit for that one, and Team Liquid come out on top 1-0 in this bottom lane fight.
All right, Team Liquid strike back real quick there. They're not going to let Xmithie and Immortals do Broxah like that without an answer. So they take matters into
Don't do them dirty.
Yeah, all right, Xmithie. We're taking you back down with us. He's going to be in a dragon on the back half of it there for Team Liquid. And since they were already ahead in gold before we started the trade of objectives and trade of kills that went down. Even though it was a first blood, Team Liquid both retain their gold lead and get the second dragon for themselves. So they're very happy with the positioning here. And again, you always have to set the expectation of the scaling. It's crazy good scaling here with Ornn, Azir, and Aphelios. Immortals scaling, not so bad themselves, obviously, as they have plenty of good options, and they really want to rely on those 3 main ults that we saw very well executed to chain CC for the first blood onto Broxah. Xmithie gonna get a little bit of the backdoor Rift Herald gold action, takes out the entire turret, and says hi to his old teammate.
And importantly, it is also the Ocean Rift showing up here today. This means 2 very important things. 1, the rest of the game will have better vibes than it otherwise would have. Feels good, man. 2, this is going to be the most powerful soul in League of Legends, which means teams will be more inclined to fight over these Drakes, which means we're likely going to see more team fights and more kills and more action than we otherwise would, which also feels good, man. We'll see if Immortals are able to stop Team Liquid from stacking them.
Be honest with me, because I'm going to pose to you one of these personality tests.
Wait, is this like the Harry Potter thing?
Yeah.
I got the snake
It's exactly like that.
Okay.
So, if you were to classify your soul, and be honest, because I know that you have a bias for liking the Ocean Soul, but I don't know if you would actually, if you answer the questions truthfully, would end up with an Ocean Soul. Which soul would you classify yourself as?
Wait, this isn't a quiz. You're literally just asking me to
I'm skipping to the end because
wait, insanity! He's going to be swooped right back to the rest of the team. He tries to make a shockwave happen, but ladies and gentlemen, the Emperor's Army says not today. Team Liquid grabbing themselves a kill, but a very nice arrow onto Jensen. Apollo is making these plays happen with the ultis. Broxah looking to find a return kill there. Tactical gets the credit. A nice kick's going to make sure there's no way Xmithie was able to walk out of that one. 2 dead on the side of Immortals, 1 on the side of TL, and Impact will grab that top lane turret at the same time.
Yeah, that's a huge +1 on the side of Team Liquid. Not only do they get the extra kill with Broxah being able to kick in Xmithie in the aftermath, but they did it in a 4v5, all without Impact even joining that one. So they also got the turret on top of it, again, extending the gold lead here. Even though both teams do have very good team fighting tools, Team Liquid continue to extend it. Hakuho and Apollo staying down bottom side will equalize that before long, though. And my friend, we may just be right back towards the evil breakpoint again. Almost caught up in gold here. Come on, get like 200 more. Boom!
All right, let's take another look at this fight, though, as Insanity just got mollywopped.
Yeah. That was pretty clean, right? We used so many ultimates on it, though, and the dash in there, that the arrow from Apollo, you see he fires it at the end to try and catch a straggler. They actually overlap a bit of the CC this time, trying to get the full burst damage. And it is CoreJJ who hooks in Xmithie, setting him up for Broxah to knock back in for the extra kill. So credit to CoreJJ there, finding the extra hook. The sentence is going to be exactly that, as he once again takes down their former jungler.
And honestly, if you're Immortals, you're a little bit behind in this game, but you know what? For a 1-in-5 squad that's constantly having to swap out roster and try to figure out where they are, that's going through this really tumultuous period with their organization where the GM and the coach have now been swapped out and there's just a whole bunch going on at once, going up against one of these teams that came into the weekend tied for second and being dead even with them 16 minutes into the game, I'd call that a good early game. I'd say they're doing all right, man. They get the thumbs up from me for the early game so far.
How about this? Xmithie is going lethality on Graves, which usually you look at an enemy team comp and you see a front line that has Ornn, has Thresh. You're like, okay, lethality not going to be so good against him if you're fighting front to back. But because Immortals have so much CC, he's building this way so that the burst damage, like we saw last time, if you hit the Ashe arrow into the Malphite ultimate, he wants to make the most out of this small timing window that they can layer Malphite, Orianna, Ashe arrow on a primary target. So he's not looking at going through the Ornn. He's looking at going around the Ornn and taking advantage of the timing there, which I do like. You know, you don't have to shred straight front to back. If if you have this much CC, you dive and you try and kill the primary targets.
We'll see if the setup is there, because Apollo so far has been dialing these arrows in well. They're the reason that Immortals have been able to keep this game close. And now, the first Ocean Drake of the game is alive. Should Team Liquid secure it, they will put themselves on an incredibly early soul point and force Immortals into a difficult game state where now they have to contest every Drake thereafter. But Immortals are the ones with control over the pit right now. Whenever it's Ocean Soul, Ocean Rift, I should say, you have to be so careful and make sure you have control wards in the pit on that backside brush, like Xmithie did there. Puts a lot of damage into Broxah. You can see the Jensen ulti coming out there, trying to utilize that Emperor's Divide to find some sort of a pick. But Insanity gets himself away, and now Immortals, whole squad, they're ready to go here. Sonic Wave over the wall, looking for maybe a resonating strike. Drake's going to be taken down, taken low. Ladies and gentlemen, Broxah has got the steal. They'll lose tactical for it, but trading away your AD carry to get soul point on an Ocean Rift is worth.
What can you say? That was clean from Broxah. He kicks Xmithie through the dragon, just lands the smite there. Really well done. You can still smite even if you are the victim of the knockback. And really just well done for him for the timing to steal away from Xmithie. This guy's got a legacy of landing smites, stealing away key smites. Definitely a difficult one for both of them, but Broxah comes out the better this time around.
Broxah coming up big here for the team. We meme about how against Immortals he seems to get first blooded and it's problematic and it's like, oh man, he's got to avoid these situations. But honestly, when you can come in clutch like that, when you can get the smite steal against somebody like Xmithie, it just means so much. And now that possibility that I was talking about is a reality, where Immortals will have to constantly enter into high-risk, low-reward situations whenever these dragons are alive. If you fail, you give away an Ocean Soul, one of the most powerful buffs in the game. If you succeed, you get a single Ocean buff, which is kind of like a potion. So really lopsided comparison of the rewards here between these two teams, but that's where Immortals have to be. So we've got to applaud Team Liquid for controlling these early objectives, and Broxah specifically for winning that smite fight at the last one. Immortals still up though, just by a little bit of gold. However, the overall power of combat stats will not tell the same story, because notice how Impact is now level 13. He got 3,000 gold's worth of free upgrades from the Sunfire Cape and Abyssal Mask, getting those Ornn versions activated. Look at his health. He's got 3,500 HP now. He's just absolutely smacking Allorim in this 1v1. He'll take down that bottom lane tier 1 turret. He'll just be completely fine in that situation. Insanity trying to get himself away. He used his Seraph's shield already. He will not have that available, but Broxah doesn't want to move any further forward. Insanity walks away.
Yeah, good little chunk there. He makes Broxah check himself before going all in. And that could have been very dangerous. Dragon kick into the wall. Get comboed up with Jensen right there. So well done by Insanity, trying to fight his way out to the escape and being very liberal with his shield usage. Didn't even allow himself to get low to give him an opportunity to go for that. Like you're saying, Immortals, they still have a shot. Whenever you have this type of wombo, if you can land it on some of the squishier carries, then that's going to be this whole game. This whole game is a fairly simple story, a simple book of flowers that we have been paging through for 20 minutes here so far. Can they get into position, find a pocket of Fog of War to fire off your Ashe arrow, to actually hit one of Jensen or Tactical? I would prefer Tactical, a little bit easier. Jensen's got more options of getting away from it. Both of them do have their flashes right now, though, so if they get
both
hit, it's their own fault.
Both can flash away after the CC ends, but Jensen specifically will then also have the
flash
ability
the CC. We need to have higher standards.
Okay, all right, you're right. We need to hold ourselves to a better degree of gameplay. Flash the damn arrow, not
flash
after
it in
you
the
get
first
hit
place.
by it. All right.
I'm tired of seeing this flash after I got hit. Ow, I'm hurt. Let me leave. Flash the first ability. You see a Malphite coming at you,
do it.
You flash his ass. You see an Ashe arrow coming at you, you flash that thing.
Okay.
All right. Here, actually. Did you know the hitbox for the Ashe arrow, they built it towards the tail so that it doesn't look weird at point-blank Ashe arrows. But that does mean if you are trying to like flash over an arrow, you kind of wait for your face to be in the tip.
Yeah, the tip of the arrow has to touch you, and then you flash over the tail of it. Okay. See, that's very interesting, because I've done that plenty of times playing my own games before where you can like flash. Nice! There we go, Kobe. There we go. Flashed over the arrow instead of flashing after the CC. Ornn is not going to find anybody. He's just setting that ram free into the wild blue yonder. It's off to greener pastures. Team Liquid has control over the bottom side river. They have the fast path towards the Drake pit with 20 seconds left alive until that Ocean Drake spawns, and that will be Ocean Soul if they're able to get it. Allorim does have the ability to potentially make an engage happen here. Keep your eyes on him. Damage coming out from Apollo. Allorim soaking there on the front line. Impact going to be eating a little bit of CC, but honestly the front lines are tanky enough on both sides that neither feels like they're under significant threat. Impact still higher HP than Allorim is. Then again, he has a much higher health pool thanks to the Ornn items. Allorim continuing to take a lot of damage here. Jensen doing what he can. There you go. Wombo combo, ladies and gentlemen. And Broxah is out of the picture. Allorim gets himself away, but Xmithie has to flash back over that terrain as well. Jensen looking to maybe go over the wall, follow this one up. Team Liquid still with control over the Drake pit, but without a jungler to secure the smite. Xmithie can get over the wall with this blast cone. He's got his smite ready to go. Immortals must be ready to fight for this. Team Liquid trying to get away as a 4-man squad. Allorim teleports behind them, but this is a Malphite that no longer has his ultimate. This is a Malphite that may now be in some trouble, trying to walk back to the rest of the team, and Immortals will prevent the Ocean Soul.
That is a 202 Malphite if I ever seen one. You know how much damage he soaked in the last minute?
So much.
Around these dragons. Walks it off. Give me that Orianna shield. Give me that Carmen shield. Get off me. Can't hold him down.
What a tank.
What a tank right there. They get the dragon, they get the tower as well. Flowers at the critical moment here. Mid-game, they put a stop to Team Liquid's plans. No soul for you quite yet. And opening up the mid tower, finally, they get the outer towers down so they can actually get some deeper vision.
So well done here from Immortals around that 4th Drake, preventing their opponents from getting the soul, going after Broxah, specifically just so there's no more 50-50 possibility.
Yeah, you saw that too, huh? Got an eye on
nope.
him.
We're not doing this again.
Xmithie wrote his name down in the notebook. He's like, you know what? We're drafting Ashe, Malphite, Orianna, and everybody's going to use their ults on Broxah. Get him, boys.
Impact has swiftness boots this game, wants to make sure that when he walks at these opponents, they cannot just slow him down forever. And honestly, when you're up against Orianna and the perma-slows of Ashe and the seismic shard from Malphite, I like this boot. I like this boot choice from Impact this game. Because you already have a ton of resistances, so it's not like you're feeling less tanky because you don't have Mercs or Ninja Tabbies, really. So I'm about this choice. It's different, it's unorthodox, but I'm feeling it.
More shields, more tanky.
Yeah, feels good. Also has the Knight's Vow, specifically to make sure that his carries are nice and protected, and he's also going to be able to regenerate that much more as they deal damage in these fights. Still a game within a couple hundred gold. Either way, a very slight edge for Immortals, but remember the Ornn items up and running on the side of Team Liquid. Molten Edge upgraded for Tactical. No item upgraded for Jensen. He doesn't have one that can be upgraded. He might not have one for a while. Look at the inventory. It's Nashor's Tooth plus Baby Leandries plus the Lost Chapter. I was thinking page of a book, but the name came to me eventually.
It's a whole chapter. Okay,
we'll
it's
see
a little bit more than one page, or a very short chapter maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be one of those chapters that only takes a single page. But hey, we'll see if he decides to upgrade the Black Cleaver there for Broxah, or if he wants to wait and save it for Jensen just to make sure. Also worth pointing out, CoreJJ with the Shirelia's Reverie, making sure that the team will have the ability to hasten towards their opponents and engage. And I actually like this because they've got to engage with the Ornn. They've got to catch up to that long-range Ornn engage before their opponents can do the Wombo combo. I think this is a good choice.
Or, riddle me this, what if they use it to run away from Ashe arrows or Malphite ultimates and dodge some CC?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you put on your dancing shoes, you head down to Club Shirelia, and you have a great time. You just party until the sun comes up. I'm about it.
I'm about it too. We need to hit that up when quarantine ends.
Once quarantine ends in 2025, we're gonna go to Club Shirelia and party all night long. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
You're all invited.
Actually, that's our business plan. That's my retirement plan now. We're forming
Club Shirelia.
Yeah, we're gonna start a club together. Club Shirelia. That's gonna be it.
All right, I'm down.
How are we going to implement the speed boost for everyone on the floors, though? You're going to have some
treadmill
kind of,
floors.
Okay. Yeah.
Like one of the confusing levels in that we had the Pokemon reference earlier, but like one of the Team Rocket levels where the floor just pushes you in different directions and you got to dance the whole way, though.
And then one of us at all times is in control of the active. Come on down to Club Shirelia. You never know when Flower's going to speed up the dance floor.
We're going to turn on the treadmill floors. Just like with this game, you never know when either team's going to go for the engage. And here it is. Impact sounded off the Ornn horn. Ladies and gentlemen, Immortals had no chance. Xmithie and Hakuho blink your eyes and they are gone. And Team Liquid head over to the Baron pit.
Uh-oh. All right, they have the 3 critical parts of their comp still left, though, I guess. Ashe, Malphite, and Orianna. Can they make it happen? Team Liquid on the Baron, burning it down. 6,000 health left. Flowers, take it away.
We've got the Wombo ready to go, but where's the combo? Ladies and gentlemen, Jensen is gone! They have managed to find themselves the first kill, but will they be able to kite this one out? Impact looking to find the damage onto Insanity. Apollo with the flash away. Allorim still there on the front line, tanking, and they're going to find a kill now onto Broxah. What in the world? They have stopped the Baron attempt in the 3v5. They will explode the enemy mid laner. They will take down the jungler. They will remove the opportunity to go for the objective, and they will control Summoner's Rift at the point of Drake spawn. Team Liquid heading back over to that Baron pit. Pings coming out from the side of Immortals onto the Drake.
Whoever said you can't make a composition with 3 champions? A boom right there. Allorim, Insanity, and Apollo. 3-person defense of the Baron with those ultimates. Apollo kiting on the Ashe, incredibly critical there. Had to use his flash. So both cooldowns for Tactical and Apollo will be synced up on these flashes, and both teams will be looking at those carries as the primary targets to be the recipients, of their solo laner CC. But that is, again, Immortals, another critical stand here. It actually feels like they're being thematic. The 300 making their last stand. They're like, we're facing soul fight over and over. Boom, half of our squad got taken out. We've only got 3 people left. Multiply them by 100. All right, we got 300. Insanity, Apollo, Allorim, you gotta hold. And the Baron starts up. We go through. Ashe, Hawkshot, gives them some vision, even though it's burning down. Look at this initial movement. Insanity, follow up with Apollo and hitting that arrow and the shockwave. And they just surgically remove the Azir right off the bat. Actually so well done from them, from the middle of the team. And then Apollo kites, stays in range to be able to finish off Lee Sin, thereby taking away any chance at restarting the Baron for Team Liquid. Just some critical kills there for Immortals in a very necessary last stand.
So I like the fact that you compare this to 300, specifically because this is something that I don't think a lot of people realize about 300. At the end of the movie, you realize that the story is being told by one of the Spartans talking to the rest of the Greeks about the tale of the 300, and that's why everything seems so over the top and unreal with like the monster elephants and the guys with superpowers practically that they're fighting and everything like that. Because it is. He's embellishing for dramatic effect to motivate the rest of the Greeks to fight. Just like Immortals are going back home and they're sending one of their soldiers back to tell the tale of the team fight, tell the tale of Baron. Oh, we stood there, we fought him all day and all night. Really? No, we all pressed R.
Yo,
but hey, we still held the line. Immortals still held the line. And that's what's important. Embellish or not, pressing R got the job done and kept Team Liquid from wearing purple.
All right, well, you've done really well in class today. Now it's time for the midterm. You remember the scene with the big, bottomless pit. Who is going to be the one that gets to kick the other one into the pit? Because Broxah
There's one character in this game that can kick.
Broxah replaced Xmithie, and you can imagine Xmithie standing at the edge of the pit looking at Broxah. This is an A! Boom! Kicking him in if Immortals win. But the other way around, if Team Liquid win, they can do it, and Broxah gets to be like, this is Team Liquid! Boom! You're out of here. It actually works both ways.
I'm going to take this as whoever manages to point-blank ult the other one and get a kill will be the one.
Broxah's the one with Dragon Rage, so thematically, you're like, whoa.
Well, to be fair, there were also no shotguns back in the time of 300. Okay. I feel like the story might have been different if there were. So we can't exactly consider this on fair ground for how these things are going to compare. But currently, as I said 10 minutes ago, and as is still true at 32.5 minutes into this game, we are 300 gold apart. This is an absolute nail-biter here between these teams. One big team fight can easily swing this in the favor of either side. We've seen how they both have the wombo combo potential. Team Liquid making it happen last time in the mid lane. Immortals making it happen previously, getting things done in the bottom side of the river and then following up at Baron. These squads, it's just going to come down to execution, man. It's who gets that team fight to go their way.
I'm all out of nails, Flowers.
You're all out of nails.
There's none left here.
You already bit on all the nails?
Yeah. It's just so intense. We're building up 33 minutes into the game. And Immortals, they've successfully fended off Team Liquid 2 times in a row at these Soul Dragon fights. And if they get the next one, they themselves will move to Soul Point. It's just, once again, can they actually pull off the CC? They've been so good at layering this to take out key members of Team Liquid. Jensen's Azir does have flash up. Tactical's Aphelios also has flash up. Everybody has everything available to them for the next team fight, so there are no more excuses.
This next Drake, if it doesn't go over to Team Liquid will now be in the position where they have to seriously respect Immortals 5 minutes from then, because this could put them at the point where it's 3-3. This could make it an all-out war for the Drake afterwards, or if Team Liquid get their pick, this could just be exactly what the doctor ordered. But ladies and gentlemen, here comes the damage! Xmithie grabbing the kill onto CoreJJ. Ornn going to find its way onto a couple members of the Immortals roster. But with CoreJJ picked off, Immortals have control over this Drake pit. They will potentially take this, but notice how Team Liquid is moving towards Baron. They're saying, look, we know Immortals is going to commit onto this Ocean Drake, and we've got to try to at least threaten the Baron. Make something happen here. Don't just give it away for free. Xmithie was left over in the Drake pit on his own. Even though Tactical has the meme gun, he has the crescendum, there will not be enough time for Team Liquid to take that Baron in response, and this is just another play going the way of Immortals. We are tied up, Kobe, 3-3 on Elemental Drakes. Next one is Soul.
We're just living in the Odyssey here. This is just building up to such a perfect end game here. The Immortals fight their way back. 3 oceans in a row they have acquired. What a big pick that time around. Again, Apollo, Ashe Arrow, boom, they get the kill. And you could tell, calm heads prevail. They leave 2 people on the Dragon. They stop the possible Baron attempt from Team Liquid. There's no panic that you see on screen. There's no indecision that you see on screen. And that's one of the things that a lot of people were attributing to some of these intangible factors with a lot of these teams that have Xmithie on them. And even Apollo and Hakuho, with some of these guys back in the lineup for Immortals, they're performing so much better. And this, again, is against Team Liquid. 4-2 team, top of the standings. Team Liquid are fighting for that tie in second. They want to join TSM. They want to join FlyQuest in the upper echelons of the LCS. Meanwhile, Immortals making it very difficult for them with the squad back in place. And as much as I'm focusing a lot on the the senior members and the shot calling, follow that arrow does get dodged. But Insanity is a guy that I think deserves a lot of respect. Him coming onto the LCS stage here with the rest of the Academy roster, I think he's been extremely good in his Orianna games specifically. Both of them.
4-1-2 this time around. 6 out of 7 kill participation total. Doing so much damage. Making sure the shockwaves are constantly finding important targets and facilitating these kills here for the Immortals squad. And going back to sort of talk about Xmithie and that experience, back in spring, I think Immortals got a lot of wins that a lot of people would say that they didn't necessarily deserve to get. They just seemed really random. It was like, wait, how did they win that? And the answer for how they won it is the experience of Xmithie and Soaz being able to make calls and being able to say, no, this is how we win. That experience, that shot calling, that being a brain player can mean so much in League of Legends. And that's why I think I and a lot of other people were so surprised to see Xmithie not on the starting roster for Immortals at the beginning of this split, because he is a brain player. This is one of the kind of guys that is always willing to sacrifice his own personal stuff. This is not a montage player. He's not dropping wub-wubs saying, watch my 1v9. This is the kind of guy who makes it so the team can win. And you need those kind of guys. Those kind of guys get you through these kind of games. And Immortals fully still has this game in a place where they can win it with good plays of their own. Last time around, I was talking about how the game was too far gone. You had to wait, try to punish your opponents, and that's the only opportunity that EG had. Neither one of these teams has fallen into that hole just yet. This game from start to finish has been about who executes better.
Honestly, I really like the point, too, because the people who have always brought up the argument of X team didn't deserve the result that they got seem really just so hard for me to stomach. Who are you to decide what they deserve or not with what happened in the game? You can be like, oh, the enemy team just made these mistakes. Yes, and you made X mistakes as well. Like, why are some deserved and some not? There is a difference between forced errors and unforced errors, and that has to do with the cleanliness and the quality of the game. But to use the word deserve always kind of went down the wrong way for me.
That's fair. I didn't want to use the word deserve when I was talking, but I couldn't come up with a synonym in my head. And I figured that if I stayed quiet for 5 seconds, people would assume that my mic broke or something, and I didn't want to put that sort of nervousness in the viewers' minds, so we just went with deserve instead. But we'll see if Team Liquid deserves an Ocean Soul, because for the past 15 minutes, they have been unable to acquire that single Ocean Drake that they have needed. And now with 30 seconds left to go, it is their last chance. If they fail this 4th time in a row, Immortals will take the Soul prize instead. Both teams having these massive frontliners in their top laners that will be able to do so much with the extra tanking power of that Soul. You can see Broxah fishing for Xmithie here with these Sonic Waves. Landed the first one, but didn't want to go in to try to make some kind of a play there with the Resonating Strike. It's Team Liquid with control over the pit as the Drake will spawn just 3 seconds from now. We'll see if they try to rush this one down. Could we see a smite fight? Xmithie going after Broxah. He'll be kicked away. Team Liquid looking to go for it. Insanity grabbing the kill onto Jensen. Drake is stolen by Xmithie. A crime for a crime. He will take back what was taken from him earlier on in this game, and that is Ocean Soul Immortals. Impact will try to retreat. He will charge away from the battle, but Hakuho flashes forward. He attaches the tether. Forge God or not, Impact may just be able to survive here. A beautiful hook from CoreJJ. Tactical's able to find the damage, and they get a return kill onto Hakuho. It's a 1-for-1 overall. Immortals chase too far. Just when it looked like they might be able to grab a kill onto Impact, they can't get it. They baited me. And Team Liquid uses the power of the Aphelios to turn it around and grab a return kill. The big story of this fight, though, is Immortals grabbing themselves that soul. But there we go. Malphite with the initiation. A tragic ulti from Insanity, ulting on top of himself instead of onto his opponents. We're just going to ignore that one for the time being because Immortals still won the fight. Allorim gets kicked. But are they going to have the damage to kill him? It looks like they will. So that's Inhibitor traded away for the top laner of Immortals. All 5 players of Team Liquid alive. Baron may very well be a possibility.
Flowers, I was already, after that Baron steal, or after the Soul steal, ready to shout, in the name of Xmithie, this is an ace! He steals the Soul! And then, you always got to respect the 200 years as they overchase and get annihilated by Aphelios. Now they got a kite, though. Teleport comes in. Soul or not, Team Liquid starting up the Baron, and there is no Malphite for 26 seconds.
This is Crescendum, Aphelios plus Azir. Baron will die in sub 5 seconds with both of these champions hitting it. Immortals must interfere if they want to prevent this buff from being stolen away. Xmithie just lost half his health to a single auto attack. Ornn coming in. Xmithie goes over the wall. Likely going to be killed off here. There we go. Broxah grabbing the kill and the Baron. And that is a big win here for TL. Insanity shuffled over the wall. Immortals not willing to let that Baron go, and tragedy strikes Team Liquid, man. Now they're in the power play. Now they've got the 5v3. This could be a push that they try to end on.
Yep, 30 seconds left on Graves, 45 on the Orianna. Immortals had it in their hands, and they fumble at the finish line. Team Liquid, they strike back so quickly. Baron empowered push into the base. Again, it's 3 Immortals versus 5 TL with the Baron buff.
And there's no Orianna. There's no wombo combo potential there with the Malphite Ori ulti doubled up. Allorim jumps in. He's trying to hold the line, but Apollo and Hakuho, what can they do? Hakuho forced to run away. Jensen grabbing the kill onto Allorim. Xmithie back alive. Team Liquid still looking to end this one. It's 10 seconds until Insanity is back into the game, but Team Liquid may have bit off more than they can chew. Impact barely walking himself away from this one. Apollo trying to keep them at bay, utilizing the volleys. Tactical is incredibly strong, trying to continue building distance here for himself. You can see Impact wanting to get back to the base. But what is this? It's the back door, ladies and gentlemen. He TPs in. Nobody's around to stop him. We're going to have a base race. Tactical able to put the auto attacks down. And that is it. Team Liquid grabbed the win. What the hell was that ending?
Let's go! That game was awesome, Flowers. Woo, that game.
What in the world, man? That was, we were at the Nexus of Immortals, and I'm thinking, oh man, Immortals is going to lose. And then we pan down to the Nexus of Liquid, and I'm thinking, oh man, Liquid's going to lose. And then we pan back to the Nexus of Immortals, and I'm thinking, oh man, Immortals is really going to lose. What?
You are fully embracing that meme we were talking about, by the way.
That's,
oh my goodness.
That's a way to end a game. That, honestly, for a game that was this close the entire time, I wouldn't have wanted it to end any other way. I wouldn't have wanted it to end any other way.
That was a complete story to me. That was an epic. We need to write that one down. I'm going to recommend this game, this book, to all my friends. Please come and read this mythos. Learn of the legends. Follow their pathway. Because for
Halloween this year, you need to dress up like the storyteller Spartan with the eye patch and everything. Except instead of telling the story, you just need to walk around with a VOD of this game and tell the tale far and wide. That's what I want to see.
I'm into it. Especially because it's always during Worlds. We always have Halloween during Worlds, so I'm just going to be dressing up, going around to a bunch of League players, trying to show them the VOD. Whew. Okay. Take it all in, my friend.
There's a lot to take in from that game. That was, I mean, honestly, despite the fact that they lost in a close game, I still want to give a lot of credit to Immortals here. As a team that's sitting at 1-5, going up against one of the teams tied for second, they kept this game with under a 500 gold difference for, 75% of the match? And they stopped their opponents from getting a soul when they started off 3-0 on the Drake count. I think this team is definitely improving, and I think letting this academy roster play on the main stage is working out well for them. And I think that you're going to see a lot of comments sarcastically saying Xmithie was the problem from here on out.
I mean, even just, you don't even have to watch the whole thing, but even rewinding just the end of it where he gets the steal for the soul, but then a little bit too far. I mean, yeah, that's going to be a classic, my friend.
All right. Well, that does it for us here today. That was the fourth and final game of the day. But we're going to take a quick break, and once we're back, we are going to hear from Broxah. You don't